Dante had his fight pretty much set for right now. Who knows if he's gonna get any form of rebound fight? Maybe he'll rise back up, or it could be, could be it for him. And then right now we have the whole fight with Noel and Vonica, which that means that Xenon is gonna be last, at least out of the three. I'm in full belief that if it's not gonna be Dante, who is the main villain out, at least out of the human side of things, it's gonna be Morris. I think that it's just one of those things that a lot of people have really come to terms with, at least at the moment. But Xenon being the last out of the three means that Tabata is probably gonna make that fight the biggest out of the whole like Dante, Vonica, and Xenon fights. And I figured that Vonica's fight was gonna be third because with the matchup. So like, granted, with Dante, I figured like he would be last initially, fight Asta and Yami in some form of rematch, or maybe the Black Bulls against him. But as it would taken down by Magna. So at the moment, he, it's easier to assume that he's done at the moment. But who knows? Could come back, whatever. With Vonica, though, I figured that Vonica having the ties to Noelle, not only just from the stuff with Lola Petrica, but also her, Aesir and whatnot, Noelle's mom. I figured that one would be way more of like the pinnacle out of the three fights, because has his stuff with, obviously Xenon killing a bunch of members of Golden Dawn, taking William and whatnot, but he doesn't have the preset amount of kind of like stakes and woe against the character he's fighting, because though he is, obviously still mad about what happened to Golden Dawn, he doesn't seem to have, a whole lot of care towards the past of, him being the Spade Prince. Like, granted, I think that there's a level of him that's obviously going to care, but obviously it's not like Noelle does about, somebody who killed her mom, and with Nozel there as well, like, that's an extra, piece that can kind of go towards Vonica. So I figured Vonica would be the last one, at least out of the three, since Dante already got taken out of the way. But this means that Xenon, again, should be the larger scale out of the three of them in terms of the level that I'm going to guess that the focus goes on the fight. And because of that, it makes me wonder, okay, what is Xenon's role going to be in, the reveal of his backstory and whatnot that is going to kind of justify that level of information? And I was thinking about it, and I was talking to somebody, and they were saying how they had heard, the theory. It was just, a really weird one of the, Xenon and Yuno were actually brothers, and I thought that was really weird, and I didn't like that at all, but it led me to the idea of what if Xenon, though, is of royal blood? Not, not like Yuno's brother, considering that'd be super weird. That'd be super weird if he was somehow, directly related to Yuno. The closest I could see that ever happening is he was some form of bastard, but I don't really know. The thing, though, that made me kind of more into, the idea about where it would go is back when we got the whole information about the two royal youths that were, really strong at some point in their history were turned into demons, it connected a couple, pieces that, I was formulating over the whole idea of, Xenon's past and whatnot in here. And that goes down to, what if Xenon is part of the bloodline of the two royalty members that were that were turned into demons, that did something that eventually turned them into the ancient demons? Because it would make sense in this the whole aspect of maybe the Zolgratis, or at least Xenon, because I don't think Xenon, Vonica, and Dante are related, at least right now by blood, just because they don't really look alike. The only similarity between them is that they have black hair, whereas if you look at Fuego, Merleona, and Leopold, they do have similarities in how they're drawn that gives them that kind of tone of being related, similar to when you look at the Silvas and stuff. Could just be that they aren't as directly set. Maybe they're only half siblings, who knows. Either way, with Xenon, it would make sense that under the idea that they, it could just be Xenon, but maybe it's the Dark Triad in general, are from this bloodline, because it would make sense of how they would have the knowledge and stuff going into, whenever they got their devil powers initially, whenever they figured out how to do contracts with these the high-ranking devils, because when we've seen people like Nox's family, they've had a history doing stuff with devils, so it makes sense of oh yeah, the guys who did something that led to becoming ancient demons in their bloodline at some point, you know, that kind of stuck around, and not like it was just like permanently etched in their DNA, but like their family was already in the arts of demonic summonings and whatnot, so it probably didn't get buried with them. So I really am for the idea of it, because say that Xenon's family did this, but like they got disgraced, and either maybe they were the original royal family of the Spade, maybe they were kind of like an off branch, kind of like how the Silvas and the Vermilions and whatnot are for the Clover Kingdom, and they want to get revenge. I think that'd actually be really fitting into the whole setup right now, considering, you know, it's got the whole kingdom lineage tied to it with like Yuno and stuff, and obviously Yuno has the whole fact that he is the Spade Prince currently within the Spade Kingdom. Whether or not he ends up deciding to stay behind at the Spade Kingdom, or however that plotline is going to go, it doesn't change the fact that it's got that whole royalty family, you know, kind of like battle of the crown kind of situation. And it would really fit if there was like some disgraced royal family wanting to get revenge on, you know, the people that had kind of like cast them down. So if the Zolgratis, or at least, you know, Xenon and whatnot, if they were like, okay, you know, that was the kind of like kindling thing that sparked them wanting to take down the royal family and take over the Spade Kingdom, I think it would make a lot of sense. Because with Dante mostly, like, from what we saw, like, he seemed to be bored. He seemed to not really have anything that kind of like gave him that like feeling of life, that energy of living. And you know, we know how he is, and his whole like in his mind, the realization of like, oh, the more negative emotions are more human-like than anything, because they're the things that only humans have. Whereas Vonica just seems to want to fight. I think Xenons should be more like tied back, like I said, to something in the lore, because in the whole part where we found out this information, I wanted to use this panel because I completely forgot before going into this video that he's the one narrating this part when he's talking about like the information of these two royal members of the Spade Kingdom at some point became ancient demons and were, you know, these super powerful beings at some point in their history. He's the one telling it. So say that he just wanted to get revenge and, you know, and be part of this. He didn't really care about actually being on the throne. He was fine with Dante doing it for whatever reason. But he, like, if he was involved again in this past of, like, this family history going into this, it would make sense of why he knew this information about these two royals that became ancient demons. And then, like, this could be something that, you know, led to his family, like, being cast out or whatnot. And maybe I'm trying to just think about, like, where these things connect. Like, maybe they're not related by blood, but Dante is originally a Zolgratis, and kind of like how Yuno was revealed to be, you know, one of the Grin Bellior, that Xenon's last name isn't Zolgratis, but his last name will get revealed to be whatever this branch of the royal family that was, you know, pretty much cast down by the Grin Belliors and kind of like a disgraced house within the Spade. There's a lot of stuff that, again, it's going off of very heavily set theories. Like, there's not a lot that kind of goes into it other than, like, a couple pieces, like I said, and then information that I believe would make sense to connect those. Like I said, this is very much a theory. Who knows? Zenon could just be, like, some emotionally dead dude who just likes to kill and do whatever, but I feel like, given the fact that he's the one narrating this, he's got ties to Yuno, he's the Yuno opposing bad guy at the moment, that it would fit really well together. And I think it's something that Tabata could easily do right now. Like, I don't think there's anything that contradicts it. I think, again, it also makes sense of, like, why the Dark Triad members don't look similar. Like, you could have literally had Dante maybe was the actual Zolgratis person, and then he went and adopted maybe like Vonica for wherever Vonica was, and then it came across Zenon, or maybe Zenon sought him out because he wanted to you know, to do whatever with him. He was like, hey, I can help you with devil whatever. It's like I know how to get like the rituals and whatnot done. Who knows? It's something that will get revealed hopefully within Maybe that'll be chapter 300, because we're at, like, what, 294 now? 295? I don't remember off the top of my head. But say, like, the Vonica fight gets finished at, like, 298. The Uno fight starts, and then 299 happens, and then 300, it's revealed that Xenon, I almost take up right there, that Xenon is from this family, or, you know, what exactly Xenon's ties for are in regards to the history of the Spade Kingdom. So, it's going to be a little bit, and obviously, like I said, maybe my guess is around chapter 300. Generally, a lot of manga, whenever you get to that, like, rounded mark every 100 or so, they seem to do something pretty big. You know, it could be a much more kind of, like, personal character thing, or it could be a large story aspect, or we could have, like, you know, something kind of crazy happen, like maybe another gate will open. Either way, I look forward to seeing where this goes. It could go nowhere. It's just a fun theory I wanted to get out there, because I like the idea of it. And again, I think it would fit really well into this whole, you know, Spade history if his opponent also had some point in the Spade history where his character ties to it and why he's doing everything that he's doing. So anyway, other than that though, tell me your thoughts are about this, and like, how do you think this kind of like fits? Do you think it makes sense, or do you think it, you know, it's like, whatever? I think it'd be really cool to have for Xenon. But anyway, other than that, comment below, thumbs up the video, friend, like, subscribe button, check out my other videos. Other than that, I appreciate everything. Subscribe. Thank you all for listening. Bye.